It's morning in paradise. First official video on the GoPros. Ended up buying 2 GoPros. But I am convinced now that the problem isn't the cameras, it's the damn SD cards. Put the SD card in here, brand new SanDisk, 126 gigabyte UHS 1 class 1 V30, which is exactly what they call for the Insta360s, and I couldn't get them to work. Put them in the GoPro, get a message says, oh, your SD card's too slow, must be at least a V30. I think I'm buying frickin' bootleg SD cards, I think is what the problem is. So with that said, my Insta360s might be okay, I don't know, but I've already got the 2 GoPros bought now. So I might have way more cameras than I need, but that's good because that means I'll never have to buy another camera. Well, I shouldn't say that. It'll be a long time before I have to buy another camera. So I ordered some high-end SD cards this morning. We'll see if that fixes the problem. I don't know. But I had a lot of feedback from it on the video this morning. And I was literally thinking about when I put them in this camera last night and it said, oh, your SD cards need to be at least V30. I'm like, I took it out and I said, it is V30. And that's when I just realized it's probably fake. I had tried several different, oh, what is that? What the hell is that from? And on the wall there too. That's strange. Let's see if I can get that cleaned off there. But I'd ordered and tried several different V30 versions of SD cards. And like I said on that last video, I actually went to their website, got the exact one that they have pictured on there, and it still didn't work. So that combined with it not working in here, I'm pretty sure they're just fakes. So I did spend some money on SD card this morning, ordered it from Lazada. That gets in, we'll try it in both cameras and see what it looks like. The GoPros. I don't have the wireless microphones for the GoPros. That's the downside. And I'm not going to spend the money to convert those microphones over to this because I'm just tired of spending money on this shit. So hopefully these GoPros audio will be okay. A lot of people use them, so we'll just try it and see what happens. I got through and mowed the lawn again yesterday for the second time with that mower. Really like that mower, man. For being some off-brand Chinese thing, it mows good. But yeah, we got the whole thing mowed, even though it was half full of water puddles. You can see the swimming holes full, mud holes down through here. There's actually standing water right here yesterday. This thing needs a stick or something to hold it up. It's kind of doing the funky wonky. We need to get some rocks down in this. Down in this section here, we need to get some rocks through here. And then as I spoke on that last video, around the edge where she put those plants, probably run it all the way from start here at the gate and just run it all the way down the side and out the front. I keep calling them hearts. Maybe they're banana flowers. I don't know. You see our banana flowers got at least 3 groups of bananas popped out already. I'm not going to walk over there. Fish are happy. Feeding them. Still got lots of little ones running around in there. Pond level's pretty high. Plants are growing like crazy. I'm just still shocked at that palm right there, man. That thing has just probably tripled in size since we planted it 1.5 years ago. That one over there's taking off too. But look at the size of those banana plants. You go back and look at that video when we planted them less than 1 year ago. They were just little posts back there because they whacked all the leaves and stuff off them for me to get them home. Yeah, I ain't figured out what I'm going to do here yet. Probably just run a weed eater around them, I guess. I just got to be careful I don't hit the tree on it and knock the bark off and kill it. But yeah, so there's standing water here and it's real rough. I need to get some more dirt out of the swimming hole and get these smoothed out here so I can mow through here. But my swimming hole's full. The thing was full of frogs when I was mowing yesterday. Let's see if we can scare a few in there. Lots of water bugs running around there, some snails. Snail right there. There goes a frog. These frogs are just little tiny frogs, man. And they're loud as hell. Oh, look at that. There's all kinds of them jumping in there yesterday when I was mowing out here. These damn finches. Look at this. So they were trying to make a nest behind the TV, so I put that green border around there. I showed you that. Well, then they tried making nests on top of that, so I put the bird spikes on it. They tried making a nest on top of the bird spikes, so I put that wedge on the top. Then they started going in behind it onto the spikes, making nests, so I put the end pieces on there. But then after about 3 more days, they figured out they could sneak up in here, so I had to put this piece in here. That was 2 days ago, and I haven't seen them, but I don't know, maybe they'll be back and try something else. I don't know, but this has just been an ongoing thing. It's almost funny because they just keep trying and trying and trying. I don't know why they don't just go somewhere else, but yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, we'll keep track of it and update you on the Finch War. I'm not sure if it's the same finches that was here the first time around. They don't quite, it's the same species, but the female looks a little more colorful this time around than the last one, so I don't think it's the same pair, but it just seems odd that it'd just be the finches that are coming in here trying to make nests, so I'm thinking it might be the same pair. I don't know. Okay, let me go transfer this video over to the computer and see what it looks like. Warm and humid afternoon in Paradise. Getting ready to load up, and we're going to head over to Mark's this evening. He contacted me earlier and said, hey man, you about ready for a beer? I haven't seen him or talked to him since we got back. So Farang weekend was the last time we had a couple beers together, so we're going to go over there. I think the girls are going to go to town and grab something at the market for dinner. We're just going to hang out for a little bit, have a couple beers. It's a rainy morning in Paradise. We went over to Mark's house yesterday evening. Girls ran into town to the market, got some food. But while they were doing that, Mark and I ran around and took care of some business that we had. So I talked about how little of clearance I have here. I have 3.5 centimeters. His lock sticks out 5 centimeters. He does not have screen doors, so his lock is not going to work on this door. So once again, I'm back to nothing on the lock, so it probably isn't going to happen. Which sucks, because I'd kind of planned that right from the beginning, that I wanted a quick, easy access through there instead of having to fumble around with keys every time we could come and go. But whatever, it is what it is. The other thing, he gave me some of his madacas, which is a fish about the size of a guppy. See if we can see one. I see one running around already, and he went and hid. This one right here with the silver stripe on the back, that's a madaca. We put 5 of them in here. They all made it home okay, Mark, and appear to be okay. There's another one right there. There's one on this leaf right here. I don't know where they're at, but they all, I watched them when we put them in here. They all look good. They hung out in a little group for a little while, and then they just parted ways. There's another one way down under there. But those are pretty cool, and he gave me a filter system for them that he had extra. I'm going to set that up on there. Might work on that today because, as I said, it's a rainy day. Started raining in the middle of the night last night. Been raining all morning, and you can see the skies. It looks like it's going to be a rainy day today. See all the water sitting around here. Just a lake out there, the whole yard. Like I say, it's been raining all night. A lot of comments on the SD cards in that last video that came out. Folks, keep in mind that my videos are about a week in arrears, so by the time you see the video, most likely I've already taken action on some of these problems, because I'm not one to just sit around and wait for things. If I see a problem, I just try to get it addressed. So I bought the GoPro cameras. That's what I'm on right now. We talked about that, I think, earlier in this video. Even though it's stamped V30 on it, I think all the cards I've been buying are fakes off Lazada. So don't buy the cheap ones. I'm just telling you. Even though I can't tell the difference. I mean, everything looks exactly like the picture they have on their website that Insta360 had on their website. Every detail in the card looks the same. But obviously it's not a V30 because I'm getting the same message from both cameras. So with that said, I got 2 new GoPros, and I think I got 3 Insta360s. There's probably nothing wrong with them. I did order 1 card directly from SanDisk, but here and there, last night at Mark's, he had one that he was assured was a good card, not a fake. We popped it in the GoPro, no error. And he offered to let me bring it home, try it in the Insta360s, but I've already got one ordered, so I'm confident the one I ordered direct from SanDisk is not a fake. So if that clears the GoPro, I'll pop it in a 360 and see if it's okay. And then I got to decide what I'm going to do from there, because like I said, I got 2 brand new GoPros now, and I got 3 of the Insta360s, and I really like those Insta360s. I'm a little surprised with the GoPro, I got to admit. The audio on this GoPro with no external microphone is far better than the Insta360 with no microphone, I will say that. But this little case I bought, and I'll show you someday, but you know, I bought this little case that has a tiny little pinhole in the top for the microphone. First thing I did, I just drilled that hole out because it looked way too small to me. But maybe I'll get wind noise now, I don't know, but the audio on these GoPros are much better than the Insta360s. Enough about the cameras. So today I think the project is going to be, like I said, it looks like it's going to rain all day. I haven't looked at the forecast, and even if I did, it wouldn't matter because it doesn't mean anything here. This is the filter system Mark gave me. Basically just, this pump is a submersible pump. You put it in the tank with the fish, cycle of water through it, and it just gravity flows back out, but it's got a carbon, it's got some different layers of stuff in here. These are carbon filters right here, but yeah, so we'll put that in there, get that set up, but I think that's a little short for my tank, so I'm gonna have to find something to set it on to get it up high enough where it'll gravity feed back into the fish tank. Mark, different Mark, contacted me, and I think we're gonna meet up either here, there, or somewhere else tomorrow, but where's my phone? I gotta check my messages. He might have got back to me. With that said, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna check my messages and see if he's got back to me. Been in contact with Mark. I think we got the schedule figured out for tomorrow, and that's Mark number 2, who's from Texas, so we're gonna call him Texas Mark, and then of course we have Aussie Mark, just so we can keep track of them. But anyhow, Texas Mark and I have been communicating this morning. We got it scheduled for tomorrow, so we'll meet him tomorrow, if I don't forget to get the camera out like I did the last couple times. This morning I got that filter system hooked up that Mark gave me last night, Aussie Mark gave me last night. So we'll take a look at it real quick. Basically just pull out of here, run into there. I did have to put a throttle valve in here, or regulator valve, whatever you want to call it, because it was over pressurizing this and pushing water out, but we got it. But I think it looks pretty good. Just gravity feeding out of the bottom of out of the top of the filter. I think it looks pretty good. The water is a bit cloudy yet because when I started the pump up, it had to fill that bucket so the level dropped, so I added 5 gallons of water back in here. When I did that, I purposely kind of jetted it down into the rocks to stir up the debris that was on the bottom so that it would get pulled up through the filter and get filtered out. But it's been running about 30 minutes now, so I think it looks pretty good, but now I'm sitting here thinking I need to probably build something to put that container in to hide it, and then maybe when I come out of it, figure out a way to just make a little waterfall and just have it kind of cascade down into the side of there, make a nice little water feature out of it and hide that at the same time. But that's just a dream right now, so we're just going to sit here and mind boggle it for a minute and see if we can't think of something, and then when we do, we'll share it with you. Number 5. That's number 1. Let's check them out. So you can see a couple of them are starting to round out here, so we got some pretty good square edges there, but that one's getting close. But needs a little while longer. It takes quite a while for these things to mature. As I said before, I had those ones in South Carolina, and they hung there for a month or better, and they just never did mature. Just didn't have time. I'll look at these other ones real quick. Man, it's a lot of bananas. I'm not going to count them, but oh, you know, they're 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 roughly in that bunch. 15, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 bunches. So that gives us 105 hanging right there. Looking good. We have people down here on this road back in these fields every single night. They roll in here after dark. I don't know, they're coming out here catching frogs or lizards or snakes or water monitors. I don't know what they're doing out here, but they're out here catching something. So I finally figured out who planted these. The uncle with the cattle that had those planted in our property last year when we arrived has put these in here. I seen him out here yesterday working on them. That guy is 85 years old. Works harder than most guys 35 years old. What are these? They look like well, they're not aloe vera. They're too thin. I wonder what those are. Anybody knows, put it in the comments. Let me know. Let me show you the leaf a little better. They're pretty thin leafed. I thought aloe vera was pretty thick, so I might be wrong. Just to grab my, should have brought my snake grabber with me. Walk down here. Ant biting me. It's been a while since I've been down here. Sumpit's in town with Mom. She's been here for, oh geez, most of the week I think. So Sumpit's been in there the last 4 or 5 nights. But I was sitting on the patio and I was just thinking, I've been pretty lucky to live the life I did. It didn't come for free, and it came at a cost, of which we don't need to talk about. But it's for everything you gain, you also have a sacrifice of some sort. But I was fortunate to be able to travel around as much as I did, and got my eyes open to what's really going on in the world and how good we have it in the U.S. Let me rephrase that. How good we had it in the U.S. But as we all know now, the economy's freaking destroyed. And part of the reason, as you know, part of the reason we came here 3 years early was because of the economy over there. I've never seen this pond this full. It's clear up here in the grass. So there's our house there. And I think I mentioned it before, but right where those cassava plants start there, that's where our property line ends. These people have tried to sell us this property, and the people across the rice road from us there, they've tried to sell us their property, but we really don't want it, especially across the road. This would be okay if we had a use for it, but we don't have a use for it. I would probably take the one next to it if that becomes available, just because of the way it's tied to our property, with access right out to the main road from there too. So it looks like they come in with a weed eater, cut the top of this off for some reason, and then stopped. Not sure what's up with that. So we got a lot of rain last night. It rained, started raining. I went to bed at 10:30. Oh, look at here. This is a rice knife. This is what they use to harvest rice. I'm gonna hang on to that. It fell off somebody's bike. Damn, I stepped in the ants and they bit the shit out of my foot. Anyhow, I went to bed about 10:30 last night. And I don't know what time it started raining, but when I got up this morning at 6 a.m., you could tell it had been raining a long time, because a lot of water around. It was just one of those full overcast, steady rains just coming down. But yeah, so this little creek thing here, as you can tell, is running pretty good right now. This is probably about a meter deep right now. But I see people come down here collecting snails and shit. There's like a rice house right over there. There's somebody actually walking around over there, but nobody lives there. In fact, this road here I'm standing on right now wasn't here when we moved here last fall. They just put it in like during the dry season last year. And it goes right over around here. Oh, let's just walk over there. They put it in. I thought they were going to run it clear out there, but they just ran it right to here and ended it. So I'm not sure why they even put it in here. Because all they did was went from the trees to here. Unless somebody was sectioning off their property, and they wanted to maybe sell part of that, so they wanted an access road for the buyer. I don't know. As you can see, there's nothing out here. Rice fields and me and my weapon. But yeah, I started talking about, you know, I feel I was pretty fortunate to be able to get out and start traveling and open my eyes. When I first started traveling, I was going to Mexico a couple times a year. Vacations, just down there hanging out on the beach and stuff. But right away, I mean, pretty early on in my travels, I decided that I wanted to retire somewhere other than the United States. Mainly just because of the cost of living, and I could speak Spanish fairly well at the time, because I had worked with Hispanic people my whole career, and I had taken several Spanish classes. Actually, my employer paid for them, so I took them. But I wanted to move to Mexico, and then of course cartel and everybody started playing their games down there, and they were kidnapping people out of those resort areas and killing them, and ransoms and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I kind of decided that wasn't a good idea. So I was down in Belize, an island off the coast of Belize, and oh my God, 20 years ago? Is that long? I don't know, whenever it was, 15 years ago, and actually looked at a house down there that was for sale. Considered buying it. A couple out of Florida had bought it for a retirement home, moved down there, but they wanted to go back to Florida because their grandkids, I don't know, they were getting older and not healthy. Nobody to take care of them, so they were going to move back by their kids and their grandkids. But they had a pretty decent little house down there, but it was on stilts because it's on an island, the whole island. There's no vehicles on the island, only golf carts. Everybody had golf carts, but it was probably half the size of our house and up on stilts. And it was an older home, and they wanted $250,000 for that way back when. But you could only get to the island by plane, so I really didn't want to do that. It was an interesting thought, but the point is that I was already committed back then to retire somewhere other than the United States. So then when I started traveling to Southeast Asia, you know, I looked at the Philippines and Vietnam and of course Thailand a few times. But as luck would have it, I met Sampit, we got married, and now we're in Thailand. So that's kind of our story. So it wasn't a spur of the moment, oh my God, let's just do this. No, it was thought out a long time ago. I had been saving and investing, I don't even know, back since I was in my 20s. Which for those of you that are still young out there, heed this warning. Start investing when you're young. Saving and investing. Now, if you're going to run a business, investing in a business is an investment, in my opinion. So I'm not saying don't spend your money, because Lord knows I wasted a ton of money. I wasted more money than I spent. My theory was you have to live for today and save for tomorrow. So I was pretty adamant about spending money to enjoy life, not knowing if I would be here in 20 or 30 years, you know. So I was doing both. I was fortunate enough to be able to do both, to travel and save and invest at the same time. In the end, it worked out. Now, I could have not did all that traveling, invested all that money, and been a whole lot better off now than what I am, but I had to play both games. I felt I needed to, and I still to this day don't regret it. I still think it was the right thing to do. As you can see, the swimming pool's full and the yard's flooded. There's water standing everywhere now, and it hasn't rained for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. It quit by 10 a.m. I think it was. And it's 4:30 in the afternoon now. Got to get something done along those bushes with that grass. Just don't know what yet. I can't really put the weed trimmer in there because it'll strip the bark off the bottom of those bushes and it'll kill them. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. And I'm already having serious thoughts about getting back out on the road and going somewhere. Like I said, my projects are all caught up other than just normal housekeeping type maintenance. I am working on those fish a little bit. I mean, I've got some more stuff I can do, but no major projects. I think I'd like to get back out on the road. I am going to say they're having all that flooding up in North Thailand around Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai and up in there, anywhere along the river up north now. In fact, Nong Khai, I thought I'd just seen on the internet they're expecting it to come out of the banks up there today or tomorrow. So I'm glad we went when we did, and I'm glad we didn't go up Chiang Rai like we originally kind of intended to do. So I don't know what we'll do next. I told Sampit I'd like to go to the beach somewhere, but I don't want to go for a week or something. Just go spend a few days somewhere, but take a day or two like we normally do, like we went down to Trot. Take a couple days driving down there, spend a few days there, and then just work our way back. I don't know. So as you can see, I'm right here in the back corner of the property, standing on the wall. But this will give you a pretty good perspective of our property line. It runs down, dog legs to the left, right where it dog legs back to the right. About 2 meters before that, you can kind of see a hump of grass across there that goes over to the other plants. So that's the back of our property. So we got about, if you ran this fence here straight across, you'd have about a rye here and a rye back behind me. So this property right next to me would be about a rye and a quarter, rye and a half, probably a rye and a half. The reason I really wanted is because we put this fence right on the property line. If somebody buys that, I mean, they can work right up to the fence, so it'd be nice to have that and just keep them back away from there. Buy it, split it in half, sell the other half to get most of our money back on the first piece. Yeah, it's so beautiful out here with all this grass. That coconut tree still blows my mind how fast it's growing. So we got Texas Mark coming in tomorrow. I'm probably just going to wrap up this video and start a new video tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get to sit down and talk to him a little bit and see what his story is.